But in any case, Charles and Kelvin wrote a pilot together, and then they shot the pilot around, and then COVID hit, and then nobody was interested, and it looked like the whole thing was going to die. And that's when DC called me up. It was like, "Do you want to do Monkey Prince?" I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." Okay, so then sometime during COVID, the Yu Brothers pilot script ends up in the hands of a director named Dustin Cretton. And Dustin Cretton liked it. You know, he was like, oh, he really liked the pilot script. And then he also had this little movie coming out called Shang-Chi that was about to come out. So once Dustin signed on, we started getting some interest, and we started having meetings with Disney. But Disney wasn't really ready to commit, right? And I remember like talking with Kelvin about Dustin, and we all watched, like he did a movie called Just Mercy, which I think it's one of my favorite movies ever. It's really amazing, about a civil rights lawyer. But that movie doesn't have any like fighting in it, you know what I mean? It has no fighting in it. And we knew that American War Chinese, because I had a Monkey King in it, there was going to be fighting in it. And I remember Kelvin and I were talking, and we're like, do you think he can do fighting? Do you think he can direct fighting? Well, I'm not sure. And then Kelvin ended up having this long discussion with Dustin about whether he could direct fighting or not. Which is ridiculous now, right? Like, in retrospect, it's ridiculous.
Glad you had really good instincts on
it. So Shang-Chi, I don't know if you remember this either, before it came out, there were some people who were predicting that it was going to be this box office disaster. Because it was a Marvel movie that starred a non-white protagonist during COVID, right? It's a Chinese protagonist during COVID, and some people, there's like this pretty deep Chinese bias. And then Shang-Chi just blew things out of the water. That movie blew all expectations out of the water. And immediately after it did that, Disney was like, oh, so Dustin, what do you want to do? What's the next thing you want to do?
Taking everything you do.
Yeah, and as soon as, like, I watched that movie in the theater. That was the very first movie I watched in the theater after pandemic. And after I watched it, I was like, this movie's going to be a hit, and Dustin's going to leave. We're done, right? There's no way he's like, you're gonna do a Marvel movie, and then the next project is going to be like there's no way. But Dustin stuck with it. And then because he stuck with it, Disney said yes. We ended up beginning filming in January of 2022. And the process was just, the whole thing was so surreal. Because Dustin signed on, they were able to get Michelle Yeoh on, right? And the cast that they put together is really incredible. Ben Wong plays the main character. He plays a character named Jin Wong. And then his love interest is played by a really talented young actress named Sydney Taylor. Her character is Amelia Taylor. The fact that those two actors have the same last name as their characters was pure coincidence. And then Jin's parents are played by Shin Han. Shin Han, if you watch the Mortal Kombat movie, he's in that movie. He like punches people in it. He doesn't punch anybody in American War Chinese.
Hey, spoilers.
Yeah, and Yan Yan is a legend in Asia. She won 2 Golden Horses, which is like the Chinese Oscars. So like she gets mobbed in Asia, and we were so lucky that she said yes to this. The real get though, I think, is Ke Quan. So we sent the script to him, and he read it, and he was like, "There's no way I'm gonna do it. There's no way I'm gonna do this." And then we set up a Zoom meeting with him. So it was Dustin and Kelvin and me and Ke. I have a little Lego minifig of Short Round. I showed it on Zoom. I was like, I've been a fan of you for a long time.
It's like you're not selling me.
Yeah. The reason why Ke Quan did not want to do it is because we were asking him to play the show equivalent of the cousin character, and he was like freaked out about it. But then Kelvin explained his plan for it, and then he said this. He said, "Okay, if I do this and I can never get a job again, you guys have to promise me you'll hire me for something afterwards." I mean, he doesn't have a problem anymore, right? That's not a problem for him. But He actually said that, and then he agreed to do it. And now I have to say, like, the way he played that character and the way he executed Kelvin's plan for that character is stunning. Like, I cried watching what he did with that. We also got James Jean. Y'all know who James Jean is? James Jean to do a poster for the show. And the reason, like, one of the reasons why James Jean.
If you like cartoons, movies, books, music, I demand you subscribe to this channel. Subscribe, be prepared. Doom. Subscribe or be prepared for doom. Do not resist. Do not resist. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.